There's been many tales over the years about Santa Claus. Well, this one's a bit different. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well out there, and I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. For all you folks out there that celebrate the holiday like myself, today we're going to talk about a brandly new released film that came out on Tuesday. It's available to purchase on iTunes and other streaming platforms. It's also, I think it's available to rent too, although I didn't pay attention because I planned on buying this anyway. But the film is Fatman. This film, ever since I saw that gloriously weird trailer that came out a few months ago, I couldn't wait to see this film. And it didn't disappoint for me anyway. But I can see how this film isn't for everybody, and we'll get into that a little bit. Now, this film was just released on Tuesday. It's an hour and 40 minutes long, which is a perfect length. I don't think it shouldn't go on, it shouldn't have went on any longer than that. It's rated R. It's a hard R. And we have this directed by two brothers out of California. I hope I say these gentlemen's names correctly. Asham Nelms and Ian Nelms. I hope I said that right. I don't know. If I did, I apologize. And in this film, we have Mel Gibson as Chris, or Kris Kringle. And no matter what you think about Mel Gibson's personal choices over the years, I'm not here to talk about that. The man is one of our biggest and best movie stars of all time, hands down. I've always loved Mel Gibson in any films. The Mad Max films, Lethal Weapon, Conspiracy Theory, The Patriot, Braveheart. We Were Soldiers. Mel Gibson always gives it his all, and he's always fantastic. So this automatically grabbed my attention when I saw he's playing Santa Claus. And this is a little bit different of a Santa Claus. We've had many iterations of the Santa Claus tale over the years. The Santa Claus from the 80s with Dudley Moore as an elf. We have to Tim Allen's Santa Claus. We have Paul Giamatti and Fred Claus as Santa Claus. We have the Santa Claus from Elf. Many different ways it's been told. And here is a hell of a lot different than we've ever seen it before. So we got Mel Gibson as Kris Kringle. We have his wife, Ruth, who's played by Mariana Jean Baptiste. And she's fantastic, too. And their relationship is awesome. We'll talk about that a little bit. With the great Walton Goggins as the skinny man. He plays his hitman in the film. It's hired by this brat kid, and we'll talk about it. And that kid, Billy, is played by Chance Hurtsfield. And basically, this brings the Santa Claus lore and tries to make it feel real in the real world. And at the beginning of the film, we're introduced to Santa Claus, and he is disgruntled with the way things are going. In this iteration of Santa Claus, he gives coal to the bad kids that deserve it and presents to the good kids. And he's noticed as the years have gone on into this current year, he's given less and less toys out and more coal. And he's bitching about the culture and things that are going on. The kids are not well behaved anymore, and he doesn't know what to do. And he's definitely he's not feeling the Christmas spirit anymore. He's kind of definitely gruff and cranky, and he thinks the world thinks he's a joke. And here we find out that he gets subsidized to the U.S. government. They subsidize his operation in the North Pole or Northern Alaska, in this town in Alaska. And he lives out in the middle of nowhere in this small farmhouse. He has this big barn where his workshop is underneath. And there is elves in this film. We don't see them until later on in the film. But he's very disillusioned with how things are going in society. And we've come to find out that he's getting these subsidized checks from the government, U.S. government, because Christmas is such a good economic boost for the whole economy. The government's been paying Santa Claus for years for what he does. But his checks are getting smaller and smaller because he's giving out less gifts. And now he can barely pay his electric bill, and he even makes mention to his wife at one point, I should have copyrighted my image and made some money off it, because look at, we do all this work and we can barely afford to pay our bills, and because they're in dire straits. And meanwhile, we see him leave on Christmas Eve, but we don't see any of the flying. We don't see him giving any of the gifts. We just cut to the next morning when he gets home in the morning, and we see that he got shot. And he says to his wife later, it's in the trailer, this isn't a spoiler, how some kids with a deer rifle put one in him and two in the sleigh. But this Santa Claus, like other Santa Clauses, he heals from these wounds. Now, we're also introduced to Billy, and he is this rich kid who lives with his grandmother. His father's always away. So he's kind of a lonely kid, but he's a brat to the nth degree and spoiled. And he'll do anything to win his science fair, which we see. I'm not going to give anything of that away. But he's been planning on Christmas. He does everything. These cookies out for Santa and milk, and he gets coal. And in the trailer, he even goes outside, he gets on his knees, he holds the coal in the air and says, you just made a big mistake, fat man. And he hires Walton Goggins, his character, Skinny Man, to go and kill Santa Claus. And this is the crux of our story. But also we come to find out that the U.S. military wants to utilize Santa's elves to build in the off-season after Christmas, because most of the story takes place after Christmas. And they want to hire him, pay his elves to build circuit boards for their jets. And the contract is enough money to pay his bills and have some money left over. Begrudgingly, he accepts, so the military moves in to utilize his workshop to build these circuit boards for their jets. And this is where we're introduced to the elves. And they're not elves. They do look like elves, but they're not typical elves. And they explain how they can live so long and how Chris stays around so long. So they go into those stuff. They keep it really grounded in reality, though. Like I said, we see the reindeer, but we don't see them fly. Again, we don't see them go down any chimneys. We don't see them delivering any presents. This movie has nothing to do with that. This is, if you want to see that, watch Christmas Chronicles of Kurt Russell, which I like that film. But this is not what this film is. And Walton Goggins' character pretty much makes his way up to the North Pole, or northern Alaska. And the last 20 minutes turns into an R-rated action film. It's very violent. And then we have the end of the film. And the end of the film, I was actually very satisfied. Now, I will say this film came off as 3 films to me in one. And they make a lot. They pack a lot into an hour and 40 minutes. It's like it's drama. It's almost like a drama movie, a dark comedy, and then an R-rated action film, all wrapped into one. There's a very weird tone with this film. I can see why some people won't like this film, so I'm not going to say everybody's going to love this film. I loved it, though. There was moments where I was invested in the characters, with Mel Gibson's Santa Claus and his wife, who is awesome in this film, and them together on screen are fantastic. The way they play off each other, the way they show how much they care about each other, and when Chris is at his lowest of his hope in humanity, she knows what it'll take to lift his spirits back up and make him see the brighter side of everything again. And right before Walton Goggins shows up at their farm, or at their house, Chris is starting to feel better because she's brought him out of his funk. He's starting to feel more optimistic. He's happy again. He's joking. He's cordial with everybody. And then Walton Goggins' character shows up, and we have a 15, 20-minute action scene until the end of the film. And it gets bloody as hell. So I'm warning you now, it gets bloody and violent at the end of the film for sure. And this isn't your normal Santa Claus. We see Santa on the farm shooting target practice with a pistol. And so they don't pull any punches of what kind of film they're making here. I would give this film a 9 out of 10. I really, really liked it. The only thing I would say I wish there was a little bit more of is a little bit more comedy. There was parts where I laughed. I was expecting I was going to laugh a little bit more. But I was invested in the characters. Walton Goggins, Mel Gibson, and Marianne Baptiste are giving great performances across the board. Even the prick kid is great. So I really did enjoy this film. A 9 out of 10 for me for Fatman. Have you seen this film yet? It's out now, available on iTunes and other streaming services. I recommend checking it out if you think it's something you would enjoy. So yes, 9 out of 10 for Fatman. If you've seen this movie, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I greatly appreciate it. I'll be back next week with some more reviews. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.